Hello everyone, I'm the Canadian Gaming Penguin. I'm here with a little Final Fantasy XIV news as we prepare for Endwalker, which is coming, Early Access is coming at the end of the week, this week on December 3rd, 2021. But preparation for it will have to occur up until the 1st, as throughout all of December 2nd until 1 a.m. PST on the 3rd, there will be a 24-hour maintenance. So we have a recap, so to speak, of what the developers have encouraged players to review that have been announced. 2 changes with patch 6.0, and this will apply to everyone, not just those who will be having Endwalker. So you'll want to pay attention to these. I'm not going to read through all of these, as I have gone through these before in previous videos. I've also covered in the last summary video of the last letter from the producer live, the value downscaling and mid-level experience reset in patch 6.0, but as that is pretty important information, I will be reading through that page, as the lodestone page that I will be reading wasn't available when I released the live letter summary video. But anyways, getting into the removal of belts in patch 6.0. So as we know, belts are being removed, and just some key other notes is that achievements that required a certain number of unique recipes completed will require fewer, because the belt crafting items, the belt recipes will be removed, and then the achievements that require specific pieces of gear to be equipped will no longer require belts. So there's that as well. And then it kind of goes through what will be available after the release of patch 6.0, and available after the release of patch 6.0, other things as well. One of the things that you should note is that players who possess belts with 100% spirit bond should extract their materia prior to the start of maintenance for patch 6.0, because you will not be able to extract them, obviously, afterwards. So if you really care and you want to go through your belts, you can go through those and make sure that the spirit bonding is less than 100% and get your extra materia that way. And I don't know why you would say no to that, because you can just sell the materia if you don't want it in the first place. So there's some extra gil for you. And I will also reference the speed belt here, as I didn't actually know that such a belt existed until it was mentioned in the live letter that this was initially announced. That the speed belts obtained by the Eureka Hagos, however it's said, can be exchanged for an equivalent ring by speaking with a Calamity Salvager in any city, so you don't miss out on that speed belt as well. And I will have the link to this page here in particular in the description below, so if you want to read this more thoroughly, you will have that option to do so. Otherwise, you can try to find it from September 21st, 2021 on the lodestone. Changes to the high-quality items in patch 6.0. Basically, any high-quality achievements will be changed as seen, and the items that are after patch 6.0 that will have high quality in their name, but they will be in name only. So if you're on PC, if you right-click your high-quality items, there'll be an option to reduce quality. That will make them the normal form, or in this case, it would be the only form of the item, and then you'll be able to stack it with the regular, normal version of whatever item, if that made any sense whatsoever. Anyways, that's basically it as well, and high-quality items will still be up on the market board, but they will not be able to be sold or bought if they are high quality, so you'll have to manually change those as well, as it notes here. It says, high-quality items affected by these changes that are being sold by retainers prior to the release of patch 6.0 will remain on the market. Please note, however, that you will no longer be able to search for or purchase these items from the market board, and thus will need to remove any unobtainable high-quality items you have on the market manually. And the affected high-quality items can be traded and sold on the market board by manually lowering their quality to normal quality. Miscellaneous adjustments to high-quality items also includes the changes to the gathering skills, as it says, in accordance with the above changes, botanist's, miner, and fisher attributes and actions that affected gathering yield will be adjusted. In addition, quests, challenge log objectives, and achievements which require high-quality items to be gathered for completion will be adjusted as necessary. Also in the last live letter, we talked about the fishing changes and that the high quality fish will change to large fish, and all the descriptions, etc. will reflect that change as well. More details about that can be found in the summary video, and I have timestamps if you just want to jump right to that section. Next, we have the upcoming changes to scripts in Allagan Tomestones. Effectively, if you have some of the older versions of Tomestones, such as the Phantasmagoria, or even the scripts such as the red scripts, and also the crafters and gatherers script tokens, the blue crafters and the blue gatherers, those will be removed from the game. So if you haven't already exchanged them to the equivalent version of whatever it is, the tomestone or the scripts, you will want to do so before the 2nd. So if you're not sure where to go to exchange these, you also have players currently carrying these scripts tokens. These, particularly the blue ones and the red gatherer script tokens, are advised to exchange them for items by speaking with a Splendor's vendor in Idleshire and other locations prior to the scheduled maintenance for patch 6.0. As it says, you will no longer be able to exchange these script tokens for items, the red and crafters and gatherer scripts, along with the blue ones as well. And now for the value downscaling and mid-level experience reset in patch 6.0. I did mark these as important in the last live letter summary video, but I will be reading through this page so that it's rehashed as well, as this kind of is important information, especially if you care about your experience on your various jobs and classes, etc. So, as previously announced, patch 6.0 will be introducing measures to control the inflation of in-game values. This downscaling will result in numerical values appearing smaller than before, but will not impact overall game balance. In the 67th letter from the producer live held on Friday, November 5th, we explained the experience downscaling will involve overwriting the player character database. Ideally, each character's current experience levels would be individually assessed, adjusted, and overwritten to fit the new value scale. However, since every character has over 35 pertinent data sets, the total number of sets to be analyzed would exceed 2 billion, over 10 billion bytes of data, making case-by-case adjustment unfeasible. Instead, uniform adjustments will be implemented, which will cause an experience accumulated between levels to be reduced to 0 for all players. And we apologize for the inconvenience this may cause, and thank you for your understanding. So just to emphasize which values are affected by the downscaling, we have the HP and damage dealt. So numerical values related to battle, gear, material attributes, effects of meals, healing items, enemy HP, attack potency, etc. will be smaller. Then we have recipe progress and quality, so numerical values related to crafting, recipe difficulty, maximum quality, progress quality increase via actions, etc. will be smaller. And then required and earned experience. Numerical values related to experience earned by Disciples of War and Magic, Disciples of the Hand and Land, Retainers, and Trust NPCs will be smaller, and the experience required to level up will be commensurately lower. Why do they use big words? So, mid-level experience reset. So this is probably the more important part. When the character database is overwritten upon the release of patch 6.0, any experience accumulated between levels beforehand will be reset to 0. This includes job class experience for Disciples of War and Magic, class experience for Disciples of Hand and Land, retainer experience, and trust avatar experience. And as it also notes, only experience accumulated between levels will be affected. Levels themselves will be unaffected by the reset. So say, for example, you're 3/4 of the way to level 51. After patch 6.0, you will be back at level 50 with 0 experience. So you will have to reaccumulate all that experience that you had gained to reach level 51. Obviously, if you don't care about this isn't a big deal, but it is encouraged, as we'll read in just a second, to try to level your characters, your jobs, classes for your both the Disciples of War, Magic, Hand, and Land, and obviously Retainer experience and Trust Avatar experience before patch 6.0. So, certain kinds of experience will not be subject to reset. This includes experience accumulated by Chocobo companions, Grand Company Squadrons, and experience used to level up in Deep Dungeons or the Forbidden Land Eureka, medal earned at the Bosnian Southern Front, or in Zadnar, and PvP experience will also not be subject to reset. And in order to mitigate the amount of experience loss, players are encouraged to level up to the nearest attainable level before the release of patch 6.0. We thank you for your patience and we wish you a smooth leveling journey. And that's something I started basically back when that live letter occurred. So I encourage you to do the same as well. And that is it for the 4 different review of the things here. And so I mentioned December 2nd is the day that you actually want to get this stuff done by, because if we look here at the special notices, we will see that maintenance for the online store, Mog Station, the Lodestone, and the companion app, and all worlds maintenance will be on the 2nd, with the exception of the end of the part of the 3rd, with the exception of the campaign or companion app maintenance. And so if we actually look in the all worlds maintenance here, we will see, in order to implement the start of the early access for Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker and the release of patch 6.0, we will be performing maintenance on all worlds at the time below, during which Final Fantasy XIV will be unavailable. And we apologize for any inconvenience this may cause, and we thank you for your understanding. And then it says, please see below for ways to participate in early access, which we will look at in just a second. So we have the date here, December 2nd, 2021, 1 a.m. to December 3rd, 2021, 1 a.m. PST. So that is roughly 3 in the morning my time? Till 3 in the morning my time? Yeah, so maintenance starts on December 2nd and will be finished, presumably all things go as they are planned to go, on December 3rd. We will obviously have any notifications of whether or not it ends later than it's planned, but it won't likely end early. Homeworld transfers service will be suspended 30 minutes before maintenance, as per usual. Certain features of the Final Fantasy XIV companion app will be unavailable until maintenance has ended, and any duty record or data recorded prior to this maintenance can no longer be replayed after this maintenance. So if you had any of that, I honestly don't even know how the duty recorder works because I've never used it before. Anyways. So yes, we're going to take a look at the participate in early access. So the key notes here is that maintenance starts on December 2nd. So the early access for Endwalker is set to begin on Friday, December 3rd at 1 a.m. PST, which is 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. In order to participate in early access, users must register a pre-order bonus code. If you have yet to register your code, be sure to do so soon and prepare for the adventures to come. Those eager to start their adventures are encouraged to read over following details and key dates. I'm not going to go over this, but I will go over these, that is, but I will have this Lodestone page in the description below as well. So the end of early access will end on Friday, December 10th, 2021 at 11:59 p.m. In the time zone for the registered accounts region, so 9 p.m. Just before midnight on December 10th in your specific region. So in this case, North America's PST, Pacific Standard Time. Europe is a GMT. I have no idea what that stands for. Japan is Japan's time. I don't know what JST stands for either. Anyways, please register the full Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker registration code before this time to continue playing after the early access period. So I encourage you to make sure you've gone through these, especially if you haven't played the game before or haven't had an expansion release before. And honestly, I've only had Shadowbringers before, so I might have to go over this as well to make sure I have everything right. Be pretty disappointed to get back home from work, discover that I can't play because I didn't make sure I had the stuff ready. Anyways, regarding posting content during early access, during the early access period, there will be no restrictions on what content you can discuss, post, or stream while following the material usage license agreement. However, we ask that early access users please be considerate and do their best to avoid posting posting spoiler-related content, as there are those players who may start at the official launch or play at their own pace. So this is, of course, talking about content creators specifically, and just to load this up here, which is something we need to use anyways. Just make sure you abide by these rules that they've had for, well, these ones are effective as September 15th, 2021. So we won't go into the details of that, but basically try not to be too spoilery. And in other news, if we go back to this news page here, you will may have noticed down at the bottom here, there was an Endwalker illustrated countdown. We actually started 19 days, and it's starting based on the December 7th release. So just going over that, it says, we're counting down the days to the release of Endwalker on Tuesday, December 7th, with a new illustration from the Final Fantasy XIV art team each day. Enjoy the road to launch with breathtaking new pieces of art. And I have to say, they look pretty cool. As we zoom in here, we can also see who did this as well, and I'm not going to attempt to say the name because I don't want to butcher it. But anyway, we have the 19 days to go with the Sage, and then we have 18 days to go with the Astrologian, 17 days to go with the Bard, Dragoon, Dark Knight, and presumably the Scholar. I'm just assuming that's the Scholar anyway. And then we have the 16th with the Warrior, and 15 days to go with the Red Mage, 14 days to go with the Summoner, and 13 days with the Samurai, 12 days with the, I'm not entirely sure which class this is, Ninja maybe? I'm not sure. 11 days to go with the Gunbreaker, and 10 days to go with a Bard again. And then we have 9 days to go as of this recording with the presumably Monk. Yes, I'm assuming this is the Monk. Also very cool. So yeah, on the Lodestone, you will be able to see the different countdown days as well. They're also sharing these illustrated countdowns on the social media pages, so that's Facebook and Twitter. I think that's the only social media pages they have. So if you want to take a look at that artwork as well, there's that. But anyways, that is all that I wanted to go over in this video. I do want to add another thing of note of I want to throw this question out there is, what type of Endwalker content would you like me to cover, if any at all, or just Final Fantasy XIV related content at all? I am thinking of doing a playthrough of the Endwalker main scenario quest, and it would be on the slower side because I would be going through the main scenario quest, but as I want to play through the side quests as well, as it adds more lore to the story, and can kind of give hints sometimes to the story itself as well, just in the type of area and the lore of said areas, and the way of thought for some of the characters and whatnot. But anyway, so I would only be recording the main scenario quests, and it would probably be only one video per week, between working hours and recording and whatnot, and actually being able to record at certain hours because the schedule of what I work is not a standard 9 to 5 type thing. So anyways, that's a question I wanted to throw out there, and I'll stop my rambling. That is all that I wanted to go over in this video. Thanks for watching and or listening.